Hi, my name is Tacaro. I'm the first mate stewardess dive instructor on Reverie.
Great, Carl. Nice to meet you. So, how did you get inspired to get down here into the yachting industry?
So, I grew up in a city called Johannesburg in South Africa, and I never really enjoyed the city life. I always loved going on holiday to the beach. It was my favorite holiday, being in the water, snorkeling. My parents were divers. And after school, I actually went to go study mathematical statistics because I was good at maths and I enjoyed it. But I only did that for 1 year before I realized that wasn't for me. I needed a life with a little bit more adventure. So I moved down to the beach, actually, a city called Durban, and I started my diving courses. And I went from open water to dive instructor within 15 months. It was all I was doing every day. After that, I got offered a job at the dive center I did my courses at and started working as a dive master there for 3 years. Then after that, I did a bit of traveling with my diving. I worked in Mozambique, Philippines, Greece, on all sorts of different diving boats, different diving experiences, shore diving, boat diving, drift diving, anything you can think of. And I really enjoyed it. And along the lines of that, I met a few people who worked on yachts and they told me all about it. And I thought that would be really great, learning how to work on a big boat like that and still doing diving. That really caught my interest. So I went back to South Africa and I started doing my deckhand courses for the yachts. After that, I then went to Dominican Republic. I did a yacht boot camp, training program to get me ready for the industry. And I went to Fort Lauderdale, started applying for work there in January. Got quite a bit of day work, learning how to wash the boats, learning all sorts of things. And after that, I got offered a position in the Virgin Islands on a 40-meter sailing yacht. And when I arrived here for that job, I just loved the Virgin Islands. So I was like, I'm going to make it my mission to find a job here and stay here. So for the year, I've been working on a few different diving boats in the area. I've been working on a few other catamarans, and I'm so excited to be working on a brand new Lagoon 65 next season.
Amazing. So, speaking of your charter history, do you care to share a memorable story?
A memorable story, I think, would be when I was working on a trimaran in the BVI. It's a diving liveaboard. We had 20 guests and the youngest guest was 70 years old. And we were doing like 1 to 2 dives a day with them every single day. They were all loving it. But there was this one lady who I could see, she was just like needing a little bit of extra attention. So on the first dive, I went to her and, just grabbed on her hand to see if she was okay. And she looked so happy underwater and she basically held my hand the whole dive. And after that, we were best friends. She became so like motherly towards me. And we just formed this beautiful relationship for the rest of the week. She was like my little dive buddy the whole time, coming and showing me everything, and she just got so comfortable and back into it again. It just made her week.
Awesome. So, do you have any favorite activities on charter that you like to do with guests?
Diving would definitely be one of my favorite activities. I love showing people the underwater world, but I do also really love making connections with all the different people I meet, meeting people from all over the states, all over the world, hearing about their lives. I love building those connections.
Very good. So, what are your favorite spots to bring guests to on charter in the Virgin Islands?
I would definitely say my favorite spots would be the wreck dives in the Virgin Islands. We have quite a few of them. I'll just name 2 of them, the Rhone and the wreck of the old Willie T. The wreck of the old Willie T has like all these fake skeletons sunken down on them, and so it's almost like a little bit creepy, but it's just super fun. And the Rhone has this big opening where you can actually go inside and look inside a little bit. The fish around the wrecks are also just so beautiful. It's one of my favorite spots in the Virgin Islands, definitely.
So cool. Could you describe or tell a funny story that has happened on charter?
It would be, I was working on a diving boat again, and I was still new to this boat, so it was the first time that the crew were doing this briefing for the dive site we were going to do. And it's an interactive briefing, so the one crew member was like splashing his feet in a bucket of water to make sounds of the waves, and then the captain told us me and some of the guests, to come and sit in front. We were pretending to be the guests on the wreck that was sinking, and a few of the guests were in on this because they had dived on this boat before, so they knew it was going to happen. And we were sitting there, and all of a sudden the captain says there's going to be a big splash, and then all the crew members upstairs dumped ice water over us. I was so shocked, wasn't expecting it at all the guests were laughing at me. It was a great story.
Incredible. That's so funny. So do you have any off-season hobbies that you like to do when you're not here on charter?
Off season, I really do love to go travel, explore new places I've never been to. But one thing I always do in the off season is try to do one more course, get one more course under my belt. This year I'm going to do my engine courses just to learn a bit more about the boat and broaden my knowledge about the boats and the yachting industry. I also love to go visit my family. Yeah.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for sharing all that.
Thank you so much. Thank you for watching. I can't wait to meet you guys on Reverie next season, and I am super excited about the brand new Lagoon 65.